Middle Creek Campground. We sat in that little cabin right over there tonight. We're not done yet. We're going to go up here and eat. And we'll come back and do our last little bit of packing and head on back towards the trail today. We'll try to do 14, and it's going to be uphill today. Yippee skippy. Hopefully there's just not going to be all that many rocks. We've got about a little more than a mile of elevation gain. Gavin has found a dog.
Spike the foot.
We got roosters crowing and campers everywhere. We're going to have a nice day. We're back at the trailhead this morning. Much better weather, I believe. I'm assuming this is Middle Creek. And we've got a fly fisherman down here, and we've got some guys that we have met the last couple of nights that have camped down here. It's going to be a beautiful day for hiking. We're going to have a good trip, I'm sure. I do know that we have a lot of climbing to do today. That part I'm not excited about. We've got about 5,500 feet elevation gain over 14 miles. And then tomorrow, we've got almost 15. I haven't looked at the elevation on that, but it ends in a town, so that'll be nice. We're going to get in here and get a little bit of water, and we're headed on up the trail, so we'll talk to you shortly. Well, we're going up, yay, all day long. But it's been gradual, and we're not going to set any land speed records today. We're just going to try to go slow and steady and get everybody there together. Hawkeye had a little bit of a fall yesterday, and it was fortunate that we had cell service because my phone was on. Usually it's not. I usually leave it on airplane mode to save some battery. But we were able to talk him back into the saddle and get him on down the hill. He was about 3/10 of a mile behind us. And he just banged his knee a little bit on a rock. He's good. But I think we are all feeling the effects of a 17-mile day yesterday. Several of us are nursing new shoes and getting into camp or shelter or hostel or whatever at night with new shoes, and peeling off your shoes and socks is kind of like opening a Christmas present. You don't ever really quite know what you're going to find. Angel is sporting a really nice pair of blisters. I've got a little place on my heel that it was rubbing. I don't think it blistered. I think it just rubbed a little bit. So anyway, we'll take it slow and easy and see how things go today. Well, we've reached the first plateau of our climb today. Rocks if we wanted to sit down. I'm not real sure I do. Gavin's out front. Angel and Bullfrog should be coming up the trail just here shortly. I'm just catching my breath. We've got about 5,500 feet of elevation gain today. It's more than we've had in a long, long time. Over 14 miles. Hopefully it'll be spread out enough and gradual enough that it won't be too terribly nasty. We got a little bit of a view out to the side there, but not much. But I know we'll have better later on. But yeah, it's going to be a good day. It's hot. That is the one downside, is it is really hot. We're going to have to be sure and get plenty of water. Here comes the other guys. I started out with 2 liters this morning, and we got more water coming up here just in a little bit, maybe a mile or so when we go down a little bit. And I'm thinking I probably need to fill up my water bladder in my pack instead of just carrying a couple of bottles worth. I may put 2 liters in that and then fill up both hip pockets, and that'll give me 4, which is a lot of weight, but it'll be gone quickly because it's really hot, and I'm going to be drinking a lot of water today just to stay hydrated. So we'll talk to you on up the trail a little bit. Call this mountain stream of the day right here. See if I can get the sunlight to glint the right way. This is where I just filled up 2 big bags of water. I'm going to head on about 0.3 to the shelter and sort it out and filter it and repackage it and get ready to roll here, have some lunch. So we'll see you up the trail just a little bit, but I did want to show you this nice little stream here. This is one of the better water sources we've had on trail in a long time. It's just Virginia has been very dry, and it's not something we were expecting. We've been really carrying a lot of extra weight just in water. But you do what you got to do because we got to have lots of water. It's hot out here right now, so we're drinking 4, 5, 6 liters a day probably each. And you got to have somewhere that you can get the water and then filter it. So we'll talk to you in a little bit. Well, this is our lunch spot. This is one of the nicest shelters we have passed yet. It's Bryant Ridge Shelter. One thing about this shelter that was misleading is we were led to believe by our guidebooks that it was a dry shelter. Yeah, there's a creek right there. There's a creek right down there. And I had already filled up my water. I carried, I carried 4 liters extra up here to get into the shelter, but I'm gonna take you inside a little bit. You got a sleeping platform there, which is nice. And then all the way back over here. And then there's an upstairs part of it too, which is nice. Nice spindles and gosh, there's room all over the place. I don't know what the capacity of this thing is, but it's the largest shelter we've seen in a while, without a question. So anyway, we're gonna head on up the trail and make our miles today. We'll talk to you soon. Well, now how about that? There's a waterfall, just like a couple 100 feet from the shelter. Not a big one, but it's a good one. It falls down there about probably 15 feet or 20. Not a lot of water flow, but it's pretty. And I was wrong. The guidebook does say that there's water at this shelter. I just didn't read it. But it's okay. I only went 3/10 with extra water. And it's all good. So we're gonna head on up. We've got about 10 and a little bit to get to our shelter for the evening. We passed another shelter before that. We may stop and take a break and privy stop, but we may not. We'll see what happens when we get there. So we're heading on up the trail now. Well, I was just coming up the trail and stopped and noticed this. This trail's been mowed. I don't know if you can tell it or not, but there's been at least one pass by a bush hog or some kind of a something down through here. And the nifty thing about it is the thing that got mowed off is these things over here, and I know there's stinging nettles in there. So it's kind of nice to not have that brushing against our legs. So thank you to somebody, we appreciate it. An incredible amount actually. We've been through several places, fields mostly, where the landowner or friendly neighbor or trail volunteer or somebody has come through with a bush hog on either side of the trail and widened things up so we didn't have to walk through grass brushing against our knees or our hips, or in some cases our shoulders. So another shout out to folks that are out here maintaining the trail and taking care of it and making it easier for us to pass. We appreciate it very, very much. Oh, absolutely, yeah, get those shoes, get those comfortable shoes on there. All right, so this is Maine.
Hello.
Okay, and Madre.
Yes.
Madre and LOL. Awesome, it's nice to meet you guys. And tell me your name again.
Crouton.
Crouton, yeah, we met him way back. And this is Chili Ben. So we're kind of chilling up here at the Cornelius Creek Shelter, trying to put off going the other 5.5 miles that we've got yet to do today.
Family out here.
Oh yeah, we're having a blast.
Good.
We really are having a good time.
Good.
So lots and lots of fun. So we've been hoping to meet some younger folks just so Gavin can see some folks his own age out here and know that, hey, there's other people doing this. Not many, mind you, but there's a few, and that's been really awesome. So.
Okay, that's what the kids have always said is the hardest part of the trail.
Oh yeah.
Is not seeing other kids.
Oh yeah.
We
Yeah.
literally came down right by that. There was like a welcome center by that wicked nice shelter that had a bathroom and a shower.
Over Mountain. No, yeah. No.
You were right. What was that?
No, it wasn't Over Mountain. That was the barn. Oh, crud. Partnership.
Partnership, yes.
Partnership,
We
yeah.
came by that, we came down that little driveway, and right as we were coming down the driveway, a school bus went by.
Wow.
And all my three kids go, children! And I never even thought about it. I'm like, oh, you guys haven't seen a kid in like 6 months.
So did you guys homeschool this year? Is that how?
I did online schooling.
Oh, cool.
In July, so then I was able
Oh,
to
good.
finish before.
Okay.
Lydia teaches last year,
Yeah.
and she's a ski racer.
Right.
I said between the missing of school and ski racing and the trail, why not find a different option?
Right.
What was rad about the other kids, we live on the trail, and the
Right.
teachers really got the concept and said, hey, let's work with you.
Right.
They just went to school, and out here they're journaling, learning about the different states that we're going through, and we're learning a lot of culture out here.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, I retired from teaching
Oh,
and
cool.
and did 8th grade with him this year before the trail.
Nice.
So we're of course learning new stuff and new things every day long. Or every day we go along, we're meeting new people from different places, and that's been awesome.
Yeah.
So it's totally great to meet you guys, and I wish you guys good luck on the trail, and we hope to see you up the road a little ways.
All right, Hawkeye. Keep it up, brother.
Awesome. Y'all take care. Well, they have laid flowers in our pathway today. I think that's an attempt to make this last little bit of the day a little bit more peaceful, and it's working. We are heading out on our hopefully last climb of the day. It's a big one, but I think it's going to be more gradual than some of the ones we've done so far. If that's the case, I don't mind it so much, but these flower petals that you see in here on the ground, I believe that's the leftovers of the rhododendron blooms. I noticed we just went up to the shelter just a little bit ago to grab a quick bite, and Angel and Bullfrog wanted to go ahead and get their food soaking so that it would be cooked through by the time we got to the shelter and save some time for supper. And I noticed a few rhododendrons still blooming up there. That was kind of nice because it's been a week or two since we've seen that. But anyway, it's later in the day than we like to hike, but we're still moving on, and we'll see you up the trail a little bit. We got some other interesting things to see before we get done today. I just walked over this section of trail, and I want to pause and just see if you notice anything. Do you notice how the dirt's really dark and black? This is a section that has very obviously been recently redug. My guess is it had washed down the hill some, and you can kind of see where they've worked out some of the sides over here and packed it down really good to secure the trail right here. So this is just further evidence of the never-ending chore of trail maintenance by volunteers. You know, nobody gets paid to maintain this trail to the best of my knowledge. You know, certainly the Appalachian Trail Conference is the overseeing body, but I don't think it is that they pay anybody to work on the trail, not for trail maintenance. Now, they do have ridge runners that are out here doing education and that sort of thing, but it's really great that people give of their time for whatever cause, whether it's for working on the Appalachian Trail or making the city parks nicer, or just wherever you can to give time to help others. I think that's a really important gift. It's just the willingness and the ability, if you're able, to give of your time and your efforts to be of service and to be of help to other people. So anyway, with that said, I'm going to head on up the trail a bit. We are ever inching uphill and closer to the shelter where we're going to stay tonight. So I'm eagerly awaiting getting there, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to tent or whether I'm going to spray off with bug spray and shelter another night. But the bugs are beginning to be somewhat of an issue, and I'd really rather not get eaten alive by bugs. So we'll sort of see how things go when we get there. Maybe the shelter's full and I don't have a choice. But we'll talk to you up the trail a bit. Well, I had to stop to talk to these mossy rocks. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Nice hair. That one looks like Ringo Starr a little bit. Anyway, we're just kind of plowing along here. Still on trail that's been recently maintained in little different sections here and there, but it's been a while since I've seen all the mossy rocks like that right there on the edge of the trail. So that's been kind of a treat this afternoon. So anyway, we're going to head on up the road, keep on getting it. I don't know how far we are. I'm afraid to check. It seems like every time I've checked, the distance has gotten farther. This has been a really slow day. I can't remember, except for the night this past weekend when Gavin and I lost our minds and did the 25 plus trail miles day, 26 total. I can't remember when we've been on the trail this late, but it's really pretty to walk today, and we are headed on up the road. Well, I'm just out of the woods and standing in a road. Probably ought to get out of the road, but I came upon these coolers and a bin over there. Unfortunately, I am a little bit too late on these, but I did want to give a shout out to the Friends of the Trail from Bedford, Virginia. Thank you guys for your effort for putting this stuff out here for us. I didn't get it, but a lot of people did, and I know there's a lot of people that were real happy to have something really cold to drink, a soda and some chips or some Snicker bars. I see those wrappers over there, or some waters. So thank you guys from Bedford, Virginia. We appreciate your efforts. Keep going with it. Well, we've either made a wrong turn and wound up in Orlando at Epcot. We got some kind of a something here. It's actually the latter. It's a weather radar station up here on the top of Apple Orchard Mountain. Told we've got a few views off to one side, so we'll keep on walking. I'd like to hope that this is the top of whatever I've been trying to get to the top of all day long. It's kind of hazy, so we don't have as much of a view this afternoon as maybe we would have if we'd have gotten up earlier and come on out. But regardless, it's a beautiful day and the wind is blowing. It feels very nice up here. And we've got about probably a mile to get to our shelter area tonight. So we're kind of excited about that. We're getting a little closer to this weather station up here, and I'm sure we'll go around this tree and have a really big view of it. Wonder what the weather's going to be tonight. Maybe they've got a crawling banner out front. Weather tonight, rain, the wind's blowing, can't you tell? Yeah, I don't know if it's going to rain tonight or not. But I do know the wind is whipping up over here on this ridge, and it feels really nice after having walked in the baking sun all day. Now we're about to come around the corner here, and we'll see what we got here. Well, that's a big thing, isn't it? I wouldn't even begin to know how to guess how big that is, but I guess it's a radar station of some kind. I see that it does have an antenna up there. I guess that's to ground it if it gets struck by lightning. But interesting things you see. We saw the FFA waypoint coming out of Standing Bear Lodge, and now we've got this thing. So, interesting evening. And we're heading on down. I think we have one more thing to see tonight before bedtime. So we're moving along, and we'll check in with you shortly. Okay, just as a point of information, the phone is pointed downward. This is my trail, so I'm not going to go anywhere with the phone in my hand, but I wanted to show you this. I'm getting ready to get to a feature of the trail called the Guillotine, which is a rock outcropping that, not an outcropping, but a rock formation, I guess would be the right way to say it, where there's a big piece of boulder pinched in between two others that could fall on you. I don't think it's going to. It's been there for years, but that's the name of it. But I thought I would go ahead and show you this trail down, because it's like nothing I've seen since coming down from Dragon Tooth the other night. And anyway, we're getting closer and closer to the shelter area, so we'll talk to you in a minute when we get to the Guillotine. All right, there it is. There's the Guillotine. Can't see it for the tree right there, can you? I'm going to get around that. So here's two rocks that are close together. Okay, over here on the left behind the tree, over here on the right, and now you can see this rock that's pinned up in between. And this formation is called the Guillotine, and I hope I'm going to make it through before that rock decides to let go. I'm sure they check it. At least I'm going to go with that. So anyway, we'll see you in a little bit. Actually, let me walk on down. I was going to wait here for everybody. I don't know whether to do that or not. They know where I'm going. I know where they're going. I don't know how far behind they are. So I don't know. At the very least, I'm going to walk through. And, oh, that was a bigger step than I expected. So is that one. And there it is from the bottom side. Very nice, very nice. My feet are about to be hurting today. I feel like I've been on them most of the day, because I have. I guess we got on the trail about 9:30 or 10 this morning. Okay, here's the going backwards view right there. That's pretty impressive. One of the most interesting rock formations we've come across. So anyway, we are, I think, officially about 0.9 from the shelter area. I may go ahead and go, but I am going to stop long enough to check and see if there's water between here and there. I guess it doesn't really matter, because if there is, I'll get some, and if there's not, I won't, but it'd be kind of nice to have some. So anyway, talk to you soon. Here comes Gavin, coming through the Guillotine. Charge. Awesome. And we've got 0.7 to water and 0.9 to a campsite, or to a shelter. So we're heading up the trail. Well, slight change of terrain here. We got some fir trees again. I'd call these Fraser firs. They're not as full as the ones that we buy for Christmas trees, but they're kind of nice. I like the new growth on the end of them. It's kind of neat to See that light colored tip on the end of the branches there. That's sprouting on out there. Kind of cool. I guess the ones that you buy for home use are probably pruned and tweaked and trimmed and pampered and all kinds of mess. So I guess that makes the difference. So we're heading on down toward the shelter. Can't wait to get there. It has been an incredibly long day. I don't remember that we've ever hiked this late in the day. And it's just been a tough day because it's been uphill most all the way. Okay, mental note, we gotta cut back on those really long days when the terrain is crazy. So anyway, we'll keep that in mind. We'll talk to you soon. Well, crossing the roadway, and this is the Blue Ridge Parkway if I'm not mistaken. And that means we are, I think, about 0.2 from where we're staying tonight, and I'll be ready to get there. I'll be glad to get there. I've been ready to get there. And I should also find some water not too far from here. I don't see it yet. I was thinking it was right here at the Blue Ridge Parkway. So we'll keep looking and get on to the shelter. I'm ready to lay down and go to the bed. Eat a little bit maybe, but I'm not cooking tonight. We'll talk to you sometime in the morning or tonight, or who knows. I'll try to remember the video when I get to the shelter, but I think when I get there, things are going to be happening quick.